Welcome back to the Hill Sunday. As Americans prepare to make merry this week with Christmas and Hanukkah, the spirit of the season also calls us to open our hearts and our wallets to people in need. So we went looking for a worthy cause. Luke's Wings. Since 2008, the group has devoted itself to providing free airfare to wounded, ill, and injured service members and their loved ones during hospital and rehabilitation stays. Luke's Wings fills the gap to ease the pain for families and improve outcomes for military members who might otherwise be isolated or alone. Some of their most recent success stories include Ray Brady was medevaced out of his army post in Djibouti on the Horn of Africa a few weeks ago after a neuropathy left him with numbness in his legs. Tomorrow he'll be flying home to Utah for Christmas Eve. And Rick Kohlberg, Sergeant First Class in the United States Army, will spend the holiday with his two sons. In 2014, after serving in Afghanistan, he suffered life-threatening injuries. Just a small sample of the work that Luke's Wings is doing. Joining us now is Fletcher Gill. He's the organization's founder and CEO. Fletcher, I wasn't as surprised as I was that the Detroit Lions are good at football, but I was pretty surprised to find a charity that was so easy to support, that was non-controversial. It didn't have any baggage with it. Everybody can get behind this. Tell us the story. How did it get started?
Well, thanks, Chris. Thanks for having me. Merry Christmas to you.
Merry Christmas
to your audience as well. It got started in the end of 2007. I had lunch with my friend Sarah Wingfield, and she told me a story of her visiting Walter Reed and meeting a service member named Luke Shirley, who had lost an arm and a leg. And she explained that his mother was there as his non-medical attendant taking care of him. And I said, what do you mean she's there, like during visiting hours? And Sarah said, no, his mom lives at Walter Reed. He's been there for years. And when I was there earlier this year in 2007, there were moms there were kids there, their families there. People live at Walter Reed. And that just blew my mind. So long story short, I said, Sarah, why don't we throw a party at the City Tavern Club in Georgetown? And we raise some money and we'll go to Walter Reed and we'll find Luke, we'll find his mom, and we'll offer to fly her home so she can get some respite and check in with the family. And if there's money left over, we'll do it for some other families. And my friend Sarah said, well, you're crazy. And I said, I know, you know that about me. And but she said, okay, I'm in. So we named the charity Luke's Wings after Luke Shirley and Sarah Wingfield. We went to Walter Reed and we offered to start flying families. And in 2008, we did 19 airplane tickets. And now we do that every couple of days, and in 18 years, we've provided almost 18,000 flights.
Is that right?
Yeah.
How do you determine, how do people find you? How do you determine who gets the help? Talk about the process.
Sure. So in order to meet the mission and qualify for flights, you have to be wounded, ill, or injured. Your wounds, ill, or injury has to be associated back or traced back to active duty deployment. The philosophy is if you've served for us and you've sacrificed for us, then your family should be with you during your recovery. You know, everybody should be doing something for you, and this is just our little piece of the puzzle. But we've expanded the mission over the years to include veterans in hospice care to make sure our World War II veterans are never alone when they pass away. Young men and women who now have cancer because they were exposed to burn pits and uranium deposits and things like that. We have a program line for fallen officers all over the country. And so when we see on television that a police officer was attacked or injured in the line of duty, we reach out and try to just figure out how to get into that noise, you know, and cut through the noise in the first 48 hours and see what we can do to help in terms of providing flights for family and for funeral services. And we also provide flights for Special Operations Command through their CARE Coalition.
What's that?
The CARE Coalition is an organization that is under the umbrella of Special Operations Command. And they organize resources for Special Operations Command. And so we provide flights officially for special operators who are injured in battle. And when we get those calls, we say, can you tell us more about the nature of the injury and what happened? And they're like, nope. No. We say, okay, that's fine. You just tell us who you need and where you need them, and we'll make sure the flights happen.
Okay, you've got a new mission, no service member to spend the holidays alone, that's underway. Tell us about that. What's that?
Yeah, that started out about 10 years ago. The no soldier spends Christmas alone, but it's morphed into no service member spends the holidays alone. Every year, we try to get 500 wounded, ill, and injured service members home to their families on Christmas morning. We say that if we're with our kids under our trees on Christmas morning, by God, our service members should be under their trees with their kids. And so we have booked 300 flights in the last 2 weeks. A lot of these service members get their approval to travel today and tomorrow. It happens right before Christmas. So we're going to be in the office right through the holidays and making sure that we put everybody on the next flight out. We want them home.
Pretty impressive for something that started at a cocktail party in Georgetown. They say, and they say Georgetown cocktail parties are the worst. Look at what you've been able to do starting from Ron.
You know, great things come from small beginnings, right?
Yeah. Well, we thank you for your help.
Sir.
We thank you for what you're doing for these folks. That's really cool.
Yeah.
All right, if you'd like to give, you can visit lukeswings.org or call 1-800-609-9920. And it doesn't have to be cash. American Airlines and some other big carriers let you donate your frequent flyer miles to make it happen. Fletcher Gill, President and CEO of Luke Swings, thanks for what you're doing.